Welcome to the 2017-2018 investiture and installation of council officers for the Jacksonville City Council. Whether you are a constituent, a neighbor, a friend, or a family member of one of our city council members, I welcome you. And on behalf of your host, we thank you for your attendance. City Council Member Danny Beckton, District 11, and Linda Beckton.
Finally, it's my great honor to present the City Council's highest award, the Charles Webb Award, given to the council member that best exemplifies the extraordinary commitment to public service demonstrated by the late Charles D. Webb during his years on City Council. Mr. Webb served on the council from 1971 through his untimely death in 1976 and was known for his integrity, his forthrightness, and his contribution to the council as a collegial body. This year's recipient not only served ably as a standing committee chair, but took to heart the special committee charge to work proactively to improve our code where obvious changes were needed. But his service as a council member did not stop there. He has created impressive city information packets for distribution at town meetings and created a personal website to keep his constituents up to date on district issues and progress on projects. And if that weren't enough, he convened a series of meetings to develop a compromise that settled pending litigation and provided disabled residents with access to housing while maintaining the integrity of our zoning code. Always fiscally conservative and watching out for taxpayers, and demonstrating the forthright conviction reminiscent of Mr. Webb, our Webb Award this year goes to Land Use and Zoning Chair and District 11 Representative Danny Beckton. Please join me in congratulating Councilman. She's done. I know you are all anxious to get on with the show, to witness the installation of our dynamic new leadership team. But if you will indulge one last duty as council president, I want to reflect on the extraordinary year we have shared. I've been told by several past presidents that the only day better than the day you became president or become president is the day you become past president. And those close to me know that I share that sentiment and have been perhaps smiling a little too much this week. But it has indeed been a great year for our city. Mayor, thank you for your leadership and for the incredibly productive year we have shared. To the mayor's team, council staff, and all city employees, thank you for your guidance, cooperation, and assistance during my year as council president. To my family and friends, my husband who suffered through the year, thank you for your patience and understanding. And to Nicole and Gay, my personal assistant in my business office, I'm deeply grateful for your constant support. And most importantly, to my fellow council members, thank you for the privilege and the honor to serve as your president. At my installation last year, I urged my colleagues to use our varied talents and interests to create the pathways to one city. A city in which every neighborhood is safe, clean, healthy, and filled with economic opportunity. You may recall that my personal goal was to help my fellow council members achieve theirs. And I put in place a host of tools to make that happen. Some will remain, others not, but they work to achieve their goal. Like a river that carved its own new channels, perhaps not following the course I mapped out, but reaching the same end, the members of this council became increasingly effective at understanding appropriations and budgets and city programs, at learning how to use community redevelopment areas to benefit their communities, and to use comprehensive plan amendments to achieve otherwise elusive results, and to work together to make our city better. Teddy Roosevelt famously advised, "Do what you can with what you have where you are." And where we were at the beginning of this year was facing a severely constrained budget, a backlog of capital needs and unfulfilled promises, and growing complaints about violent crime and police-community relations. During the year, together with Mayor Curry, we as a council shared a unified focus on public safety as a priority. In the budget, we not only added increased prevention funding and funded additional police officers, but over the course of the year appropriated over $2 million more for JSO for funding various safety initiatives with community partners, almost $3 million to facilitate body cam implementation, and over another $1 million in additions to the Journey budget. Councilwoman Katrina Brown built community bridges through several meetings on citizen review boards and community policing. Councilman Reggie Brown crafted legislation to reduce violence in our parks. And Councilman Newby focused the attention of his special committee on opportunities for crime prevention and intervention. Councilman Wilson advocated for public safety initiatives across a broader range of challenged neighborhoods throughout the city and forced us to examine the effectiveness of current programs and guidelines. But public safety was far from our only priority. The pathway to one includes infrastructure as well. The mayor's team developed a priority matrix for septic tank phase-outs, and we established a program that implements the promises of consolidation and funded a $30 million initiative to start the work. We funded bridge repairs and drainage projects, a priority of Councilman Ferrero, and increased sidewalk repair and installation budgets across the city, a priority of Councilman Gaffney. Thanks to Councilman Carter, who chaired the Regional Transportation Planning Organization, we maximize transportation network funding opportunities by submitting our first in a decade council-approved list of priority projects for state and federal funding. We restored the dune system at the beaches. We made disability improvements to sidewalks, parks, and buildings. And thanks to Councilman Becton, as I mentioned, we settled the litigation that ensures our disabled residents have access to housing. We are moving down that pathway to one for all neighborhoods and all residents. Our vision of one city is also compassionate. Councilman Brown led the charge to provide additional summer camp opportunities to as many children as possible without sacrificing quality. Councilman Gulliford turned his focus to the victims of the opioid epidemic. Councilman Hazuri continues to advocate for victims of human trafficking. And Councilman Dennis is passionate about preventing drowning and teaching our children to swim. Councilman Schellenberg regularly reminds us of the importance of our safety net hospital. And Councilwoman Morgan led a bottled water distribution effort after the hurricane. Councilmembers Hazuri, Love, and Bowman led the advocacy for a welcoming and non-discriminatory community. And Councilwoman Morgan, as chaplain, highlighted the diverse religious communities that comprise our one city. We are walking the pathway to one. and our vision depends on economic growth and opportunity for all. This year, we welcomed IKEA, approved 2 Amazon facilities, and numerous other new businesses and expansions. While our unemployment rate is among the lowest in the state and certainly something to be celebrated, it is important that many of the new jobs created this year will provide opportunities to those who have the fewest. We also adopted a new tourist development plan, and through the efforts of Councilman Crescenbenny and Anderson and the TDC, we bid our contracts for services with the goal of significantly growing tourism, a great opportunity to add another dimension to our local economy. The partnership with the Jaguars on the recently completed Daly's Place Amphitheater is a major asset in this effort. And the revitalization of downtown is accelerating with the growing A. Philip Randolph Boulevard corridor and most recently the approval of the Barnett and Laura Street Trio redevelopments. Finally, the One City vision depends on the quality of life our residents enjoy. Whether it is Councilman Ferrero's zoning advocacy for his constituents in the rapidly developing North Side, or Councilman Carter's advocacy for the Equestrian Center and active recreation in all our parks, Councilman Love's advocacy for preservation of our historic communities, Councilman Anderson's dedication to viable solutions for the challenges facing Hemming Park, Councilman Hazuri's preservation of the Spanish-American fort near Fort Caroline, Councilwoman Brochet's One Tree at Every School initiative, Councilman Crescenbenny's recent work on the establishment of a new tree commission to use the funds in the tree fund, or my recently adopted Parks Partnership Program that offers potential donors a simplified process to partner with the city. We recognize the importance to the city of our parks, our public spaces, the environment, and our history. So, you thought I would highlight pension reform and the HRO. Perhaps Hurricane Matthew. These were, of course, the most newsworthy events of the year, and I am not diminishing their importance to our city this year. But you already know those stories. Perhaps you thought I would address the role our water assets have played and can play for Jacksonville. While my job this year was to steer the ship on a steady course, I had the opportunity from the height of the bridge to see the countless groups from grassroots volunteers to corporate executives who were working on a shared vision surrounding Jacksonville's authentic brand, a unique opportunity offered by our waterways, beaches, and shorelines. I will be continuing to pursue that vision over the coming year and believe it's critically important to our future. But today's story is one of 19 council members working together throughout the year to bring us closer to that one unified city we all envision. Despite the attention-grabbing major events, despite a council year marked by far too many personal illnesses and hospitalizations, and despite occasional personal conflicts, we accomplished so very much together. Let us continue to be bold and dream big for Jacksonville. Let us once again link our arms together, and together we will achieve great things. Thank you to my colleagues for a great year. To incoming President Brochet, I extend my sincere best wishes for a wonderful year, and this few words of advice: stay committed to your goals, but flexible in your approach. God bless each of you, our city, and our new president, Councilwoman Brochet. Thank you.